P. Diddy. A lot has happened since we last talked about P. Diddy.
Yes, it has.
What happened? Talk to us.
Well, where do you want to start? I mean,
Well,
it's from Jaguar Wright to
oof.
Justin Bieber to Orlando Brown to Ray J to Ali Carter to Liam Payne to JoJo Siwa and Beyonce. We've got so much to go through.
So, a lot of things happening. So, September 16th, many people know Sean P. Diddy Combs was arrested in New York City. And child, he was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, since 2008, he has been a part of a criminal organization that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice, and other offenses. Hashtag trigger warning. I should have probably said that before. Now, he's also been charged with RICO charges. And so...
Wait, what? Do you know what RICO is, just for the folks out there?
I do.
want to. Okay, good. Because
I wrote it in my notes today.
I even had to look it up exactly what a RICO is, because we have, the idea of what a RICO is, but this seems a little bit more serious than what folks are making it on the media, right?
Yeah. So RICO charges stands for Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. So it's basically targeted organized crimes. So usually people who are in the mafia get charged with this, from what I'm understanding. But in P. Diddy's case, this is huge. And this is a mess, honey. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, let's first of all start with the fact that the Jaguar Wright situation, now, a lot of her videos talks about conspiracy theory, right? So I want to be very clear on that. It's conspiracy. But it seems like a lot of the things that she has said seems to be coming true. And the thing is that she's been saying this for years. And I know she's had mental health issues associated with that. And a lot of people want to discredit her because of that. But at the same time, it's like, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's got to be a little truth in some of that, and the way that she connects things. So what have you seen on Jaguar Wright? Because it's been a lot from her, to be fair.
She's pretty consistent. I've listened to her videos over the years, and it does sound like a lot of conspiracy theories to me, but I also think there's a lot of truth in this as well, too. Because recently, Jaguar Wright went on Piers Morgan, and she talked a lot about what she needed to talk about. And it ended up with Beyonce and Jay-Z sending a cease and desist order to Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
And so Piers Morgan had to go on television and apologize for that. But I'm also understanding that I think that Beyonce and her lawyers or someone actually sent it to Jaguar afterwards, because a lot of people were wondering, why are they coming after Jaguar and not... why are they coming after Piers and not coming after Jaguar or whatnot? And for me, I've always looked at Jaguar Wright kind of as like a groupie or something, just somebody that kind of just follows along. But obviously, I think that she's been in these spaces and she knows a lot, and she's just been saying a lot. And so I just find it really interesting that during the time of what's happening with P. Diddy, because Cat Williams predicted it. Let's just be clear. Cat Williams said what he said
100%.
On that Shannon Sharp interview, and here we are.
At the beginning of the year, too, and it's like almost the end of the year, and it's definitely happening. So, yeah.
Oh, do we have new buttons?
Uh-oh, I think we're hitting video buttons, too. I don't know what that was.
Oh, my gosh.
We got all kinds of programming here.
Just hit the arrows. There we go.
There we go.
See, this is a live show. This is how live we are. We don't edit these parts out.
No, and that's the beautiful thing about this podcast is we actually are like truly live. This is a true conversation with very little editing at all, if any, in most of these episodes. So, give us a little grace. We're doing the best we can. But we also want to give you the real chat of what it's like to be in a living room and have a conversation with us. There's just cameras here. But back to the Jaguar Wright situation. So looking at a lot of the stuff she said on Piers Morgan, I mean, she was saying she was a sex dominatrix, from my understanding.
What?
That's how she allegedly got this information. Yeah, I watched the whole Piers Morgan thing. We actually have the apology video. If we could play that, Solomon, real quick.
Piers Morgan has had to apologize to Beyonce and Jay-Z after a guest on his YouTube show made allegations that the couple said were totally false. Singer Jaguar Wright was invited on Uncensored to talk about Diddy's arrest and said she'd been screaming that Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters for 4 years. Piers Morgan said Beyonce and Jay-Z's lawyers contacted the show and asked for Jaguar's comments to be taken down, saying the claims have no basis in fact. Parts of the interview with her allegations have been edited out. Piers Morgan said, editing interviews is not something we do lightly. We apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Now, let's also be clear, too.
I want to apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce, too, just in case to keep it safe, girl. I'm going to make sure we get our apologies.
But here's the thing, though, and people have been saying Piers Morgan don't just have anybody on his show. If he didn't think there was some truth to that, he would not have had her on the show.
Mm.
And so when I'm hearing people say that, it makes me think there really may be some truth to all of this. And for so long, she's been silenced and people just didn't believe her. But now that this whole thing with Diddy has come out, it's like, we need to be listening. But I also follow a lot of bloggers who also engage in conspiracy theories about what's happening too. So it's really hard to catch up with it. But I was just reading that last week, 9 new accusers came forward. Including,
and the child, the 13-year-old, right?
I think it was either there were 16 or 14. But here's the thing. It was only one female and all males. And the only female plaintiff out of the 9 says that Combs wanted to speak to her privately at a Biggie Smalls promotional party back in 1995 before he actually slammed her head in the wall and SA'd her.